Hey, what's up, y'all? This is the Will and Deshaun Show. I am Deshaun.
And it's Will.
And today we want to talk about pride, a deeper love. But Will, how are you today?
I am awesome.
Good.
I am glee.
I'm great too.
I'm gay.
And
gay means happy.
You're right. But it is June of 2019, and June is Pride Month. And Will, why is June Pride Month? Why did they pick June to be Pride Month?
June is Pride Month because in New York there was a gay bar that the police used to raid all the time. They would go and like arrest people. They would go in there and like beat people up. And Pride really got started because of Marsha P. Johnson, who was a black trans woman who was sick of the police shit, and they stood up against the police. And ever since then, they've been celebrating Pride. So that's what Pride is truly about.
Oh, okay.
It was because of a black and Latino trans person.
She was black and Latino?
No, Marsha P. Johnson is black, and it was with a trans woman as well, who was Hispanic, who was a Latin. Gay.
And they both were trans?
Yeah, they both were trans. Well, they were men. Yeah, they were trans.
Okay. So, a little bit of history for y'all.
For those who did not know.
Learn your history.
You speak Marsha's name. So,
they passed?
Yeah, they're not alive anymore.
Okay.
Marsha was killed.
Oh,
so,
Jesus.
And mysteriously, we still don't know who her killer was to this day. A lot of people say it was like the mob, but we don't know. There was no proven thing of who murdered her.
Oh, wow.
So I want to say this because now Pride is so corporate now, and everybody wants to throw up all these
corporations getting their
corporations
coin.
Right, want to throw up their money,
want to market and advertise.
Also with Pride, our Caucasian counterparts have also taken that over. But I definitely want to let people know that Pride was started by a black trans person.
That's dope.
And we want to about Marsha P. Johnson, who was a black trans queer person. And I want people to know that because white people have also taken over Pride and made it into something else as well.
That's so dope.
So yes, a lot of people don't know that. That's how
black people be starting everything. Okay,
absolutely.
We be starting.
We'll never get the credit for stuff.
Good. And gets no credit. Somebody always hijacking our movie.
And the funny thing is, you know what they did? They gentrified it.
Yeah.
Pride was gentrified. By our white counterparts. It's because the funny thing is, why is there a black pride and a white pride?
Because they want to pride with us.
It's not even called white pride. It's called pride. But ours is called black pride.
Right. Why can't it just be called white pride?
Right.
So with that being said, so who has the biggest black pride?
Atlanta, Georgia has the biggest black pride. The people come from not only from all across the United States, people also come from across the pond to come.
Really?
Yeah. I've met a couple of people from like London and stuff. So people do come from across the world to come to Atlanta Gay Pride. Atlanta Pride is legendary.
So my first Atlanta Pride experience. I remember we were at the mall. It was so yes. When I say
Linux is legendary around Pride time.
That mall was so packed, like so packed, and you couldn't. It was like a club pack. It was so freaking packed, and it was obviously gay guys there with people. When Pride comes around, people usually express themselves in different ways.
They show their pride.
Right, they show their pride. And it was a lot of people just really expressing themselves. From guys and girls too. And it was almost like some type of event almost. It was interesting.
Oh, Pride Weekend is an event.
It's an event. The whole weekend.
It starts on Thursday. It ends on Tuesday.
Okay, it is an event
of Labor Day weekend.
Okay. I remember going to the club, and we didn't even go in. I think we just waited outside. We were in the parking lot.
Y'all parking lot filmed?
We were flexing. Okay. Yeah. And
were y'all at the let out or y'all was like during the regular time?
We was at the let out. I think we came during regular time.
The let out is after when the club closed.
But during Pride, like regular time and let out be
everything.
Okay. And it was a lot going on, but it was a good going on. And I remember walking 10th and Piedmont area. And of course, that's where the Rainbow Sidewalk is, for those who know Atlanta. And when I tell you, you don't even have to go in no clubs. Like, you can just, from going to the park to going to...
Have you ever did the park on Sunday?
I feel like I have.
Okay.
I feel like I have.
Because that's like a big thing as well.
I know I've done the park before.
For Pride.
Right. I know I've done the park.
For Black Pride. Because Atlanta's White Pride is in October.
Right.
But Black Pride is in Labor Day weekend.
But yeah, the streets are packed because on Labor Day in Atlanta, it's just a festive time because it's a lot going on.
Oh my God.
So that on top of Pride, it's like it's a million football games. It's Lunar Day weekend. It's Comic-Con. Comic-Con is this gigantic comic book fest. And it's Black Pride. So there's just so much going on.
The city is making multi-millions.
Everything is overpriced.
And everything is overpriced. Right, so all the clubs that you would normally get into for almost a free or $5 to $10 now cost $30.
Right, Atlanta isn't even Atlanta on Pride. It's an event.
It is. It's really an event on Pride. Did you the times that you did so? Okay, well my question is, do you still go to Pride to this day? Or do you try to avoid Pride now?
I don't try to avoid it, but I don't like take off for it.
Okay.
So if a friend hit me up and we want to go out, okay. Yeah, but it's not like, oh, I ain't going out. You know, it's Pride. I ain't going out this weekend. I'm good. I'm going out of town. It's not that, but it is like, I know it's a little bit more expensive, so I don't have to go out. But if somebody hit me up and be like, it might be a house party, because the house parties be crazy too during Pride.
Yeah, that's all the people who
house parties everywhere.
Those I don't go to Pride club party people.
So if someone hits me up and say, hey, I'm going out tonight, yeah, I'm definitely not against going out during Pride.
Okay. Cool.
You know, I am a little bit extra cautious because you have out-of-towners, you have visitors. You know, you just gotta make sure you're a little bit more proactive, I would say, during Pride.
So what is Pride to you?
What is Pride?
What is Pride to you? What does that represent to you?
I think Pride represents being gay and proud, of course. And I think it's about representing what you weren't allowed to represent in the past.
Okay.
I think it's about being bold, in the sense of being who you are without having any type of reservations about who you naturally are. That's what Pride is to me.
Awesome. For me, my first experience of Pride is when I lived in Chicago, of course, for Chicago Black Pride, and I was extremely terrified at first. Chicago Pride, because of course, just like any other major city, there's a Black Pride, there's a White Pride. Chicago used to have White Pride, and White Pride was always televised. And again, at this point, I was semi in the closet and
trapped in the closet.
Very much trapped in the closet. Very internalized homophobia. So I didn't go to like Pride. But these years, when I began to become who I am and be proud of myself and have pride in myself, when I did start to go to Pride, it was everything to me. It was like magic. And then I remember before I even moved here to Atlanta, coming to Atlanta Pride twice.
So your experience of Atlanta Pride was different from mine, because I experienced Atlanta while living here.
Right.
But from a visitor coming to, it's just a totally different
Right. So let me say that.
Yeah.
So let me tell you that story. So from being a visitor coming to Atlanta Pride was like magic. It was like gay guys everywhere. It was like this, like I said, it was just fun. The parties and the let out, the cookouts, the everything.
Every year, people be convincing themselves to move to Atlanta after they come to Pride. Okay.
Hand lifted. Funny thing is, let me say this: me and my roommate now, we came to Pride. But we actually came here because I had already decided we were going to move to Atlanta. We supposed to have came to Atlanta to actually scope out Atlanta and look for places to live. That didn't happen the first time.
What made y'all choose Atlanta?
Because it was an openly gay city.
Okay, we have to do a moving to Atlanta episode later.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can definitely give y'all my thing about how I moved to Atlanta. Mm-hmm. So it was very that. But we just ended up doing what everybody else did, and we just partied and had a good time, and then we came back again like in January to Atlanta. Then
it was cold.
It was actually February actually. And that's when I actually started looking for places and stuff like that. That's my journey, but I'll give that another video. But okay, so not living in Atlanta comes to Atlanta Pride was everything. It was fun. The clubs, the house parties, it was everything. Then when I was actually living here in Atlanta and going to my first Pride while living here, same effect to me. Mm-hmm. It was fun. Mm-hmm. But after a couple of years, it was that I was avoiding it. I was like, okay, I'm done. I've had enough. I don't really want to go. And I always kind of got dragged into going because like a friend would come from out of town or friend would be like, you want to go out? We'd be like, all right, we might as well go. At least go to the park. The park was free, you know. And you could just buy a bottle or whatever. You just drink in pregame with your friends or whatever. But now, how I feel about Pride, I'll actually attend again. You know, at first I was kind of like, ooh, I'm Pride out. I don't feel like going. I'm done with Black Pride, blah, blah, blah.
Do you feel like Pride has gotten a second wave, a second win? It seems like it's on another growth spurt.
Again, Pride will always continue to grow because there are younger generations that come after us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, yes, we've had our Pride time. We've had our fun. We've done it. We got it out of our system. So we're not so much enthusiastic about it as when we were in our youth. I will say this. I had 2 Pride experiences. I've had Black Pride here for many years, and last year was the first time that I actually got to attend White Pride.
How was that?
White Pride to me was amazing. Mm-hmm. And not to say that Black Pride wasn't amazing, because Black Pride was everything. Mm-hmm. It was Black Pride.
Who has the biggest White Pride? New York?
Yes.
Okay.
New York does. Shit, then like maybe Chicago and LA.
The biggest cities,
yeah.
Basically. Yeah.
But White Pride was more of a celebration. This was actually the first time that I was even secure enough in who I am as a black gay man to actually walk in the parade. That was the first time ever walking in the gay parade, and it was just so fun, like giving out. Because I walked with the Johnson & Johnson Corporation, and we were giving out like things. We were getting like T-shirts and flags and stuff like that. And I was so proud in that moment. I felt the pride, you know, of being a gay black man. Now, it was like celebrated. I had fun. Don't get me wrong. Of course, they still had parties. But I will say this: the difference between this is the kind of like the catch-22. What about the 2 different prides? A lot of people will say this, and I hate to say that this is semi-true. White Pride is more organized. It's more sponsored heavy. So a lot of corporations are giving them money. So it's a lot of floats from different corporations, and you're walking with different companies and stuff like that. During Black Pride is more party-centered.
Why is there a Black and a White Pride?
Because white people didn't want us to attend their prides. So we created our own, just like what we do, how black people do in general.
I would love to learn the history of Atlanta's Black Pride.
Funny thing is, again, the whole Pride in general, the first Pride ever was because of black people.
Right.
And see how they came and took that over? But that's a whole nother
Y'all know y'all good for that.
Absolutely. Anyway. But I will say that about White Pride versus Black Pride. Black Pride, the party scene was better because, again, you partying, you celebrating amongst your people.
And you're in the black city.
And you're in the black city.
Right.
But White Pride, I felt more like they were celebrating being gay versus Black Pride was just all about the parties and the sex scene.
Gotcha. Why do you think Black Pride doesn't have the same educational and...
Because, honestly... Point blank period is about money. You know, they're going to promote what people want to come to. Having a party, having a good time is what black people have always done.
Do you wish it was more educational?
Absolutely. They do have like a gala at the Civil Rights Museum during Black Pride. I think it used to be like at the Georgia Aquarium. But that's only one small thing versus the party scene, which is heavily promoted months in advance.
I mean, I be getting texts like March.
Yeah. Like Pride time come around, the Pride texts come through. So, oh my God, it's so funny. I literally just got a text right now, guys. That's how crazy it is.
Yeah.
But, you know, unfortunately, the educational side of Pride, about a lot of people don't know how Pride started and who were the forefront.
And they should really highlight that and display that during the Pride.
I think they should do.
Yeah.
I absolutely feel that. you kind of get that more so on the white pride side versus the black pride side. And pride in general, white or black, was created again from a black trans queer person. So, which is so crazy, but again, that's how it is in the world. They take away our history, and we only know theirs.
It's been whitewashed.
Absolutely, like everything, in that world that happens. It's kind of our fault as well.
Yeah.
And I kind of want, this is going to sound slightly controversial, but they feel like basic niggas don't want to know nothing. Like you're not trying to learn the knowledge. You're not trying to know your history.
Who feels like that?
People, like the younger people, like a lot of people don't know. They're not seeking that knowledge of the history of Pride and why do we celebrate Pride. All they want to know, I want to come here and party because now you probably lived in a city or maybe a small town or maybe another city where you can't quote unquote be gay. Because a lot of time people come to Atlanta, especially in particular,
to be liberated,
to have that liberation for that weekend and go back to living their maybe enclosed lifestyle again. And so people not really caring about the history on why do we celebrate the Pride, and people now are questioning, is Pride just a party sex fest?
Do you think that's all it is?
85%.
What else do you think there should be besides education?
Again, I feel like Black Pride should have a parade.
Especially in this city, if anywhere.
Atlanta is a very black city.
Yeah, so yeah.
Especially black, gay, heavy Mecca.
Yeah.
And there's no reasons why we can't get sponsorships for our Pride just like white people get sponsorships.
Have they tried?
And a lot of black people, because like I said, I walked in the white parade. A lot of those black people work for these companies. It was actually surprising how many black people attended white Pride.
So do you think black people who work at these companies need to speak up and...
Absolutely.
Like, how would that? I mean, that's the city ordinance.
I will say this. Find out if your particular corporation has a LGBT group,
right,
or they're LGBT friendly. Because again, we do live. Don't get me wrong. Even though big corporations like Coca-Cola, Delta, UPS, Emory, Johnson & Johnson, all these other corporations is here. A lot of those corporations, Mercedes-Benz, they do celebrate, have like an LGBT kind of like thing of their companies. But unfortunately, you can still be fired for being a queer person in Atlanta.
Right.
In particular. So find out and try to get those sponsors. But again, I don't think we're looking for that. We just want a party.
The only thing I would say that's might be in the way is the Comic-Con parade. That's the only thing I'll say.
Because you can have the parade on a different day than Comic-Con.
But what other day would it be?
You can have it a different day. You can have it on Sunday. Sunday, that's when everybody goes to the park anyway.
I don't know. So I haven't been involved in the Pride process, so I won't speak on it. But I would say that it may be a situation where they have to like balance two different events.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, at the end of the day, it still bring money.
Yeah.
And I hear so many people now, especially because a lot of our people of our age and maybe a little bit older, they kind of like Pride out. And that's why they don't kind of like attend Black Pride, because they say Black Pride is kind of like messy, it's young, and the girls are fighting and all that stuff.
I would like for it to be more gallus and galas.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Stuff like that for more grown people to do. But again, stuff like that for the grown and sexy or the men of a particular age, those are the events you really have to seek out, because they're not promoted like that. They're kind of like a secret society. Like you said, because there's a whole slew of house party scenes that you really don't know about. One thing I will say, this is just not even a Pride thing, but one thing I do notice here in Atlanta, there's kind of like different scenes.
Yeah,
there is, of course, the club scene. People who do go to the club often. I don't go to the club often. I do enjoy going to the club, and I will attend the club or a bar. That's just what I like to do. But there's the whole house party thing where these people, they don't go to clubs at all, and they just strictly have like house parties, and that's kind of where you kind of find more of like, I hate to say it, a lot of like the fraternity dudes and stuff like that, or the guys who might be more of a particular age.
And then I feel like they're like even more secret.
And then there's the whole
the DL events. Would they be
right.
called DL?
Right, the DL events.
Not even DL to say that all of those guys are DL, but DL in the case that it's a secret.
These are the people who want to celebrate, but they're too afraid to celebrate based on their public personas.
Right.
So they have that going on. Then you have the whole sex party, sex club people who like to do all that. So, but you were just saying, but that's also a subculture, and also people who like to do that as well. So, unfortunately, again, I will say this: what does pride mean to Will? Pride means to me to celebrate who I am as a person, who I am, who I was born to be, who I am, and I can't choose to be anybody else. I didn't choose this life. This life was predestined for me.
Right. And
I want to be celebrated and not tolerated for who I am.
Right.
And I don't care about anybody else. And I think pride should be more of a celebration more than just the party. I feel like, yes, the party should be after. But, the people are,
there should definitely be more education.
Yeah, it should be more education. And even if you have that knowledge like myself, like, give it to somebody else. I should see more mentorships. They do have like volunteer things and stuff like that, but nobody wants to go to that. Everybody's trying to get their time to go volunteer. Everybody wants to just party.
Right. I mean,
they want to party and brunch.
Do you think Pride should be sort of like take more of an MLK approach? I know with MLK, there are like a lot of different like galas and fundraisers, and they treat it differently.
I think it should be
the name of.
I think it should be more slightly elevated.
Yeah, most definitely. Especially now, it's time for it to elevate. It's been around for a while now.
Honestly, I'm not trying to be going to Pride at 60.
Low key, MLK is another Pride.
In Atlanta, yes, they have turned.
Why is that another Pride? Who did that?
That's pre-Pride. We call that pre-Pride.
Winter Pride.
That's Winter Pride.
But I think that would be a beautiful thing to see Pride elevated, especially Black Pride.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's a beautiful thing, especially with Atlanta. I think that would be
because I heard other cities have like the kind of the balance, but again, my ignorance of Atlanta. I'm not saying that
we may just not know.
Absolutely.
But I feel like if we don't know, that means it's not promoted enough. Because we know enough.
That's the problem.
How many club texts we done got within the last couple of days?
I literally just got one 5 minutes ago.
Right. So I mean, yeah. So yeah, I agree. I think it should be promoted a little bit more. And
like again, we do have stuff throughout the year. Don't get me wrong. Wanna G does the whole
there are things.
They do like the gentleman's ball and stuff like that. Like that should be gentleman's ball.
If you got
to me, I feel again, I commend them for the work that they do and their particular thing. I feel like something like that should be around Black Pride.
Yeah, it should. When is it?
It's normally like in November.
Okay, so it's
like end of October, November.
Fall.
I feel like it should be in Black Pride time.
If you had the money or the name, would you have a gala around?
Absolutely.
Around Black Pride?
Absolutely. Because there are people who are seeking something different. Not everybody wants to go to the club.
Right.
So a lot of people are clubbed out.
Yeah. And then I feel like if you live here, you
and a lot of people, we have
go to Pride every weekend if you live now.
We live in Pride every day.
Okay.
But the thing is about a lot of people are looking for something. And we got a lot of bougie people to live here as well.
Yeah.
And better than you guys.
Coming from them other cities.
Oh, yeah. Not just that. We got a whole bunch of better than you guys who live here who wants to do more of a elegant, elevated thing. People are looking for more grown and sexy clubs or more of an elevated club.
And it's sometimes not even about being better than you. It's just like...
They just want something different.
Like, I'm older now, Right. Not only speaking for myself, I'm speaking for someone.
No, just in general.
Saying, yeah.
But like I said, if you want to go to like a gala, a fundraiser.
Like, I still want to celebrate being gay, but
let's have a fundraiser to send somebody to college or help a youth build a
foundation
or something, or like a homeless shelter for the gay youth.
It is, yeah. It's
like let's do stuff like that.
I definitely agree.
And what better time to do it than Pride?
Yeah.
All those people, all that money that's coming here, you spending $40, $60 to get to the club anyway. You pre-gaming with your friends. You buying food. You buying liquor. You paying $40, $50 to go to the club.
I also feel like
$4 be $25 to get to.
I feel
like $4 normally. $3.
The sex scene of Pride also plays off of Atlanta's party scene with Freaknik, and Atlanta is just known as this party city.
Absolutely.
So I think Pride kind of plays off of that. So I would like for Pride to also play off of the historical civil rights era of Atlanta too. So you can have like kind of both sides. The party side ain't going nowhere. I mean,
absolutely
it just ain't going nowhere. Whether it's Pride or not.
But I just feel like both things, the party as well as the education of the galas and the fundraising side should be just as big.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. Yeah, I agree. And with that being said, y'all enjoy y'all prides. Y'all got anything else to say? Will?
Happy Pride Month to everyone. You know, continue to celebrate and uplift your community. If you see your brothers and sisters, don't be throwing shade. Uplift them. Say hello. Make friends with your other gay people. You know, a lot of times people be like, I don't deal with the gays. I don't have gay friends. All the gays is messy and all this stuff. Don't do that. Like, if you see your brothers and sisters out here in the streets, stay help us up. You know, protect your trans brothers and sisters out here. Trans people are getting killed left and right on a daily. It's ridiculous the way how the trans people are getting killed. You know, take up for your people. Enjoy one another, uplift each other, love on each other. Stop throwing shade because somebody don't look like you or don't have what you have. You know, that's all I say. Let's come together as in pride and unity and love.
And I want to say, pride is for everybody. It's not just for gay people.
Absolutely,
it's for straight people.
We need our allies as well.
You know what I'm saying? It's for everybody.
And be an ally on a real tip, and don't be an ally like these corporations are doing now. Just get our money to go low key to fund Republican people.
Ooh, that's a whole nother thing.
Who trying to take away our rights on the low.
Y'all be safe. Be safe. Please be safe.
Absolutely be safe. Now that's another thing too. The way people are out getting gay bashed and these trans people are getting killed, y'all need to protect yourself.
And be safe by partying too. Somebody always died during a party.
Yeah, be careful on where you're going. Yeah. We know y'all folks like to go and hook up, but be careful. Use some sense. Use your common sense. Don't always go to checks and dick and ass. Be careful out here. Just in general, I'm just saying. But again, people, be careful. There are people who do not like us. Be careful. If you got to take a training class, a boxing class, get you a stun gun or get you a pistol.
That, and someone always dies during Pride, like, not being bashed, but like...
And stop taking all these drugs from everybody that you don't know.
Drugs or just be,
These are things of advice. Be careful out here.
That's
nothing wrong with having fun. Watch your drink. Don't leave your drinks. And don't be doing bumps with everybody, okay?
And on that note, thank you so much. We'll see y'all later.
Follow us at Will the Deshaun on Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Will and Deshaun Show. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get alerts when we do upload. You can follow me at Best of Black or Best of Black Life. Follow Deshaun at Deshaun Duran on Instagram. And we will holler at you guys later.
Bye.